Good evening, Snorkel MMA here, and welcome to my predictions for UFC 320. Alex Pereira, oh no, technically Magomed Ankalaev versus Alex Pereira because he's the champ. I'm going to be going from the prelims up, doing the whole card, but I'll have in the description the timestamps to any fights if you want to skip to the main event, or just like the last three fights are really good if you don't want to listen to the prelim predictions. The timestamps for all the fights are in the description. Okay, so the first fight of the prelims, opening up the prelims, is Veronica Hardy versus Brogan Walker. I'm going to be going Veronica Hardy here. I think this is kind of a layup because Veronica Hardy, I think they like her, and she lost her last fight after being on a win streak. So it's just kind of a layup to get her back in the win column. She's minus 600. Brogdon Walker's only had one UFC fight, and she's had like 3 UFC fights, split decision, and she like lost to Juliana Miller, who's in the UFC with like a 2-3 record, and some other chick that's really bad. I think what's her name? I can picture her face. I can't remember her name. But yeah, she's basically just lost to people that everyone else beat. I think Veronica Hardy's actually beat both the people that Brogan Walker's lost to. Okay, then we've got Ramiz Brahimaj versus Austin Vanderford. I'm going to be going Austin Vanderford here. He had a pretty good Bellator run before his UFC debut, which he won against Veretennikov, who's actually above him on the card. He's the next fight for some reason. Even though he beat him, he's like lower on the card than him. And then we've got Brahimaj. You know, he's been in the UFC for a while, and he's just kind of proven that he's kind of like a lose-lose-win type of fighter. Like, he loses more than he wins, but he just wins just enough to not get cut. Like, he's lost to Max Griffin and Court McGee, both pretty good, but if you were decent, you probably would have beaten them. I think Vanderford would beat Court McGee, so MMA Math says he's going to win. That's always correct, right? Okay, we've got Punahele Soriano versus Nikolay Veretennikov. This Soriano guy is like that. I don't know if you've seen that. It's like a pretty popular meme. Like, after when he goes, he does that. That's him. I'm going to go Punahele here. He's just been around the UFC for a long time, but he's only 32. Like, he's been in the UFC for like ages. Like, he has like 10 fights in the UFC, and he's only 32, and he seems to just be now like entering his prime and going on a bit of a win streak. He's on a good 2-fight win streak. Couldn't KO over Uros Medic, a really sick KO, and Uros Medic's a pretty good scalp to have. Like, he's like the highest, very high level unranked fighter, like just below ranking level. Whereas Verotennikov has been in the UFC for 3 fights, only 1 win, and it was a split decision, very close fight. So yeah, I think I'm going to go Soriano by KOs, because Soriano hits really hard, and I think he's going to get the KO here. KO round 2, I think, because Veretennikov, like, he's pretty alright, so I don't think he's going to get like ran over, but I think Soriano will find like a good counter shot, or he'll just get sneak through the guard in round 2 and get the KO win. Okay, then we've got Patchy Mix versus Jakub Wiklacz, I don't know. So this Jakub Wiklacz guy is the KSW, which is like a pretty alright org, I've heard of it. Bantamweight champion with 3 defenses. He's making his UFC debut, so they literally just imported a guy to get Patchy Max a win, it looks like. But he's a submission specialist, just like Patchy Mix. He has 10 submission wins, Patchy has 13. So if they get down to the ground, it could be a really cool grappling match. But yeah, I'm going to be picking Patchy Mix here. I think this is kind of like a Bellator level competition, and I think Patchy Mix gets these kind of wins all day. Like, you know, he beats everyone below. I think Patchy Mix will probably he'll crack the top 10. I reckon he'll hang around I reckon he'll be like around like 8-5-ish. And he'll only really get beaten by the actual like contenders. I think like anyone beyond contender level, Patchy Mix will beat, because I think that's just his level. Yeah, but I feel like maybe Patchy Mix will. Maybe like this guy will shoot in and he'll like, you know, get a guillotine, or maybe he'll get like a plotty hook. Like, you know, he kind of does have one punch knockdown power. I've seen a few of his Bellator fights, and he does have power actually. So I can see him like getting like a counter off on Whiplash, and then just following him down and submitting him. I don't think they'll actually like be on the ground too much. I think they'll both just kind of strike. I don't think they're really that good. They don't really have that good wrestling. It's more just like the jiu-jitsu guys. So yeah, but I think Patchy Mix has this for sure. And then we've got Macy Chiasson versus Yana Santos. I'm going to be going Chiasson here. I think that even though they're both pretty oldish for like women's bantamweight, that's sexist. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I feel like 34 is pretty good, but 36 is like, you know, that's exiting your prime. And I think women's primes, like, they peak earlier and they fall off No, they peak later and they fall off earlier. I don't know. I'm just kind of guessing, just because don't move. I don't know. Fuck, I'm gonna get cancelled. But yeah, I'm gonna go Macy Chiasson here. I feel like she's on an upswing, or I think Yana Santos is in a downswing. I think she's just kind of in the headspace of I'm gonna have a few more fights, make a bag and then retire. I think Macy Chiasson's actually trying to make a title run. She seems more I don't know. I actually like Macy Chiasson. She's one of the few entertaining women's fighters. She's aggressive. She's I feel like she's actually always trying to get a finish, actually trying to hurt people. And yeah, I think it's going to be by decision because Yana Santos is solid. A few years ago she was actually, I think she was pretty good. So yeah, I think she's solid. Maybe she could get dropped, and maybe just Chiasson's aggression on the ground's too much, and she'll just kind of give up. Tap when the submission's not really in, or just huddle up and just let her stop instead of trying to defend herself. I could see that happening, but I think it's more likely a decision. Then we got Daniel Santos versus Ju Sung Yul. I'm going to be going Daniel Santos. The Ju Sung Yul guy, he had a good Contender Series fight and he had a good debut. But Daniel Santos has been around, he's fought some pretty good guys and he looks solid. So I think we just have more tape on him, and I feel like he's shown that he's a pretty solid fighter, whereas we don't really know about Ju Sung Yu. He's only fought one guy and he was kind of like a can. So yeah, I'm gonna go Santos by decision. Okay, then we got Farid Basharat versus Chris Guiterrez. Basharat's actually the minus 400 favorite here. I think that's a bit high because Chris Guiterrez is decent. I could see him pulling this off, but I do think Farid Basharat will win. I think Farid Basharat's just faster. He kind of just has better head movement than him, and Chris Guiterrez backs up a lot, and Farid Basharat has a 4-inch reach advantage. So I think the combination of Chris Guiterrez always backing up, circling, when Farid Basharat can just slip out the jab when he's circling, because he's going to circle towards his jab hand, and he has the reach advantage. So I think he can get a lot of significant strikes off like that. I also think what he could do is he could throw a wild combination, then just push him back against the fence, and then just clinch him after the combination, so Guiterrez can't really counter, and then just drag him out of the wrestling. So I think Basharat's going to be the one mixing in the grappling and making an MMA fight, whereas Chris Guiterrez is kind of just a back circle leg kick, look for spinning shot, look for angles, and I think Basharat's just more dynamic than Guiterrez, and I think he's going to get this by decision because he doesn't hit that hard. Okay, we've got Edmen Shahbazyan versus Andre Muniz. I'm going to go Edmen Shahbazyan by KO round 1. Muniz has got KO'd twice in his last 3 fights. His last fight, he got KO'd in round 1, and 3 fights ago, got KO'd by Paul fucking Craig. So, yeah, Edmen Shahbazyan is legit dangerous in round 1, really fucking dangerous in round 1. And I think he's going to catch him. And then if he doesn't, I think Edmen Shahbazyan will definitely win round 1 and 2. He might get taken down something in round 3 because he really falls off heavy. But I think he's either going to really look for the KO round 1, or he's going to kind of keep some energy and win a decision. But either way, Edmen Shahbazyan's going to win, but I do think he'll fight in round 1 of the KO. Okay, then we got, I think this was just added today. I'm pretty sure because I checked yesterday and this wasn't here. Because this was supposed to be a Toby Gautier versus Ozzy Diaz. Ozzy Diaz pulled out, and then they brought in this guy, Tre'ston Vines. And this is just an absolute setup for a Toby Gautier to get a KO. This Tre'ston guy, if you look at his record, he's got KO'd 3 times in round 1. And Toby Gautier has all of his wins by KO round 1, 7 KOs round 1. So this is just literally set up to clip farm, get a cool KO before the pay-per-view main event starts. People buy pay-per-views. Actually dirty maneuver by the UFC here. Yeah, so Gautier KO round 1. I'm actually going to put money on him to KO in round 1 because this is a crazy setup. Okay, then we've got Joe Pyfer versus Abus Magomedov. I reckon this is Joe Pyfer's hardest fight. I think Abus would beat Hermanson. I reckon this is Joe Pyfer's hardest fight he's had in the UFC. You could argue Gastelum, but Gastelum he's not taking his career seriously. Gastelum in his prime would be better than... Would he? I don't know. I kind of rate Abus, honestly. I think Abus is pretty good. And I think that Abus... I'm going to pick Abus to win this. I'm going to go for the underdog here. He's the plus 180 underdog. I think Abus is just going to... I think his footwork is too good. He has a big reach advantage. 3-inch reach advantage. He has a really nice jab. He has really nice leg kicks. And I think he's pretty fast. They're both kind of slow, ploddy, but I think Abus is a little bit faster. He's a bit more dynamic. I think he's going to get the leg kicks out there. I think he's not going to be, he's going to circle away from the power. I think all he has to do is avoid round 1, and then rounds 2 and 3, he's just going to win it off, having the reach advantage, leg kick, being more dynamic with kicks rather than just punching, rather than just having hooks. And yeah, I think he's just faster. I think his footwork and head movement's better. and I think he's just gonna really piece up Joe Piper. It's gonna be like Hermanson-esque, but I think he'll actually hurt Joe Piper a few times. Or Joe Piper could catch him round one. I could see Joe Piper catching him round one, like maybe he's really putting the pressure on a boost, like really backing him up, and a boost starts to get tired near the end of the round, and Joe Piper just gets like a nasty fucking hook on him or something. That's the only way I see it happening. I think if it gets past round 1, 2 and 3, a boost is just longer, has more weapons, and has better footwork and head movement than Joe Piper. He's like, they're both pretty ploddy, but Joe Piper's like plod maxed. I don't know. So yeah, I think a boost by decision, just because Joe Piper's like blockheaded. I don't think he's going to get knocked out, but I think that rounds 2 and 3, a boost is going to be piecing him up a little bit. Okay, then we've got Josh Emmett versus Yusuf Zalal. I don't know why they've made this matchup. Am I tripping, or is this Yusuf Zalal? This is going to be the exact same matchup as Josh Emmett versus Lerone Murphy, but Yusuf Zalal's actually faster and he hits less hard than Murphy. So it's just going to be an even more boring version of Josh Emmett versus Lerone Murphy, in my opinion. I think that Yusuf Zalal is just going to fucking run the whole fight like he did against Calvin Kattar, and he's just going to circle, and then only throw punches when he's like, Emmett's like, his power hand's super far away. Whenever Emmett throws a punch, he's just going to fucking run away. It's going to be, I feel like, yeah, it's going to be the exact same thing as Calvin Kattar. Maybe he'll spice it up by throwing a leg kick or two. But yeah, I think he's just going to be on his fucking bike the whole fight. And I think he's going to get a decision just by avoiding all the Josh Emmett's stuff. Josh Emmett doesn't even really kick. I think it's just going to be use of circling, jabbing, leg kicking, only striking when Josh Emmett's out of position. Just fucking bicycle extraordinaire. Yeah, I don't know why UFC has made this matchup. I just feel like this is the exact same matchup as Lerone Murphy versus Josh Emmett, but it's going to be even worse. And Yusuf Zalal's going to get so much shit from this. He's probably going to be like Mario Batista level of hatred towards Yusuf Zalal. But this is the way he has to do the fight. This is the way you've got to fight Josh Emmett. That's why Lerone Murphy did it too. You have to just kind of circle away from him, because he's just, all he has is like a 2-punch combination, or like just straight up, not even any combination, just throwing out a massive hook. So yeah, he kind of has to play the game that he played against Calvin Kattar. He could have actually played a different game against Kattar and actually fought Kattar. But this game, he actually has to play the bicycle game in this fight, and he's going to get a lot of hate for it, and I don't know why UFC made this matchup. But yeah, I think Yusuf Zalal by decision for sure. Let's fucking go. Jiri Prochazka, my glorious king, versus Khalil Roundtree Jr. Okay, so Yuri's my favorite fighter. Sandhagen's my second favorite fighter. So this fucking card is so good for me. Holy shit, these last 3 fights are actually so good. This is like one of the best cards of the year for sure. Like the most stacked cards of the year. I do think that I am looking forward to the Tom Aspinall Cyril Gane fight. I know it's not nearly as stacked, but that's like I just like Tom Aspinall's my third favorite fighter. So holy shit, this actually month is so fucking good for me. But anyway, Jiri Prochazka versus Khalil Roundtree. Yeah. Okay, so I think that the reason why Khalil Roundtree Jr. looked really good against Jamal Hill is because Jamal Hill's kind of just like a technical boxer with shit footwork. So Khalil could just use his Muay Thai game, use distance management, and just have like I think he knows how to counter technical fighters really well. That's Khalil's like biggest strength, is being able to like make the fight his fight when he's versing technical strikers. But Jiri Prochazka is not a technical striker. He's he's like a fucking throw whatever the fuck he wants at the wall and see if it sticks type of fighter. With improved defense now. Yeah, I think that Jiri will be the one pushing Khalil Roundtree back. He won't just be looking for boxing combinations. He'll actually be, mixing in all different techniques. He'll be the one pushing Khalil Roundtree Jr. back. He won't just accept like the mid-range fight that him and Jamal Hill had. Like Jiri will fucking put it on Khalil Roundtree. He won't let Khalil Roundtree dictate the fucking range, which is I think which is what Khalil Roundtree really needs. He needs to be able to dictate the range. He needs to be able to do all of his techniques that he likes, and he needs to like not really have, someone pushing him back. And I think that Jiri Prochazka is like the king of pushing back. He's the king of making fights not what his opponent wants them to be. And I think round 1 could be really bad for Jiri. I think round 1 is going to be rough with the oblique leg kicks. Khalil Roundtree might find like a hook counter or something on Jiri, because Jiri does move side to side a lot, so I feel like a hook counter is kind of really live. But Yuri's going to have to start moving his head back, I'd say. And yeah, but I think after round 1, I think Yuri's going to really start figuring out what Khalil Roundtree is trying to do is going to really start. Because I think Jiri obviously is a really good, really smart fighter. He knows what's happening because he has like fucking 28 round 1 KOs. So I think he learns what people are trying to do, and he learns how, and he knows how to counter them. Like he gets a read on people really fast. So I think rounds 2, he's going to start fucking piecing up Khalil Roundtree. He might start backing him against the fence, maybe clinching him, like releasing off the clinch, getting a really mean elbow, maybe like a spinning elbow, like almost like a Dominic Reyes type thing. But I don't think he'll land it as clean as Reyes. But mixing up the techniques, like clipping Khalil Roundtree guessing, so that Khalil Roundtree can't like maintain his range that he wants. And then rounds 3 and 4, I think he's going to wear him down. He's just never going to stop coming forward. Khalil Roundtree's not going to get the game that he wants. And I think he's going to KO in round 3. Okay. Then we've got the co-main event. Merab Dvalishvili versus Cory Sandhagen. Jiri and Cory, man. White boy summer, eating good. Oh, I really want Cory to win, man. I would just love for Cory to just win this. So he can be like Rob Whittaker and like at least he got the title before he got surpassed by all the better competition. Well, it's only Merab. Merab's literally the only better competition. I think that's the only person that actually beats Cory every single time. And Umar, probably. It's so sad. I just wish Cory, got the title fight a bit sooner before Merab was there, before fucking Umar was there. If he got the title fight a bit sooner before those guys were like at the top, then he would have been champion. He would have got a few defenses maybe. But it's just going to be, I just don't see it. I think Merab is going to keep coming forward and he's just going to keep either getting Cory against the fence or just chain wrestling, and Cory's just going to have no room to actually get any offense off, to actually score any points on the scorecards. Because I think it's just going to be Merab just spam wrestling, bro. Just chain wrestling over and over and over. And I don't think it's going to be like the Sugar fight where he gets him down and controls him. I think Cory will get up. If Merab gets Cory down, he'll get up every time. He might get like 1 minute control time, Cory get up, and then he'll just shoot again. Take him down again. And then, so Cory probably has like fucking 5 seconds on the feet. He doesn't have the advantage of Cory. He has like better wrestling than Sugar. But he doesn't have the advantage of Sugar where when it's on the feet, every moment is actually dangerous for Merab. Like, maybe he could get like a knee when Merab goes for a shoot, but Merab is just, he must have a really good technique. Because if someone was going to get him with something on an entry, it would have been O'Malley. That's why I picked O'Malley both times. Because I was like, Merab's been caught by Marlon Moraes, he's got caught by Cejudo. If anyone's going to catch Merab, it'd be Sugar. And he had 2 chances to do it. He never caught him with anything except for that body kick at like the end of the round, at the last round at the Noche. So I think Sugar had the best chances of beating him. And Merab, it was either Sugar or it was Umar that was going to beat him, and he beat both of them because Umar has the best chance of actually defending, of actually like reversing Merab's takedowns and getting control time on him. I think that's the only way you beat Merab, by the way. If Cory's going to win this, I think what he has to do is you have to beat the wrestler. You have to be better than the wrestler at wrestling to win. Because in this day and age, chain wrestling is too OP if you're going to be a striker. They just wrestle. Even if you defend the takedown, they just shoot again. They just chain wrestle. And then Merab's such a goblin, EPO goblin, that he never gets tired. So you never have any opportunity to strike, even if you defend every takedown, even if you get back up, because they just chain wrestle again. So you literally have no time to fight. So the only way to beat chain wrestlers is to reverse their wrestling attempts and take them down yourself. You literally cannot sprawl and brawl in this day and age against elite guys like Merab, Hamzat and stuff. Well, you probably could against Hamzat, actually, because if you actually give Hamzat a tough enough time, we saw it with Usman, that he gets tired and you can actually strike with him. But Merab never gets tired. No matter how many times Cory Sandhagen gets like underhooks in the clinch against the fence, or how many times he Grammy rolls back to his feet, Merab will just shoot again. He'll just shoot again all 5 rounds, just constant control time. And Cory will never have any chance to actually score points himself because he's just always defending constantly. It's just actually bullshit, bro. So yeah, I'm going to go Merab Dvalishvili by decision. Merab by decision, but I feel like his game is actually unfair and needs to be patched. But what I think they should do is they should remake the way scoring works. Like if you get taken down and you get back up within 30 seconds to a minute, that should be points towards you in the round. If you get clinched against the fence and he holds you there for like, say, under a minute and you actually reverse off and you push him off and you like an elbow, that time that he's holding you against the fence, then you push off. So you've actually defended what he was trying to do. I think that should be counted towards you getting points on the scorecard. Because the way that the game works now, it's just unfairly skewed towards chain wrestlers because even if you defend the takedown or you get off the fence after they're trying to clinch you the whole fucking round, then it's like they just went off control time, even though you've actually defended their wrestling game, mixed martial arts, their art. You've actually defended it. You've gotten up off it. But then I think control time should mean absolutely nothing. And if you actually get up off the ground when they're the one that took you down, it should be advantage towards you, if you know what I mean. I think that's what they should do. I know really you should be saying, well, it's mixed martial arts. If his art of wrestling, if he's a better wrestler than you, then he should win. So in order to be champion, you have to be better than him at wrestling, which, I can see that argument. Okay, I'm kind of going off on a massive tangent here, so whatever. But yeah, I think you know what I'm saying, and I just think it's really skewed towards chain wrestlers nowadays. Okay, then we got the main event. Magomed Ankalaev versus Alex Pereira 2. I'm going to go Ankalaev here. I think, Alex is only getting older. He's 38, Ank's 33, so I think this fight's going to play out pretty much the same as the first fight if Alex keeps the same game plan. I don't think Alex is going to be faster than Ank, so he really has to put power into his shots. But if he starts putting power into his shots, then Ank's wrestling game is really going to open up. I think in the first fight, the only reason why Ank didn't take Pereira down is because Pereira was so reserved. So if Pereira is like, fuck, I lost that last fight by being too reserved, I'm really going to open up on the feet, then I think that Magomed Ankalaev's going to slip under, get him down, get the waist. See, I think it's just like a double-edged sword. Pereira, if he actually opens up, he's going to start getting taken down. If he is really reserved, Ankalaev's speed's going to be too much for him. He's going to lose the boxing exchanges. And, just Ankalaev having the level changes is just too much of an advantage against Pereira. He hasn't been in the game long enough. He entered MMA too late in his career, I think. So, yeah, it sucks, but, yeah, I think it's just Ank win here. I think he's just a different level than Pereira MMA-wise. Honestly, it's probably better that Ankalaev wins this, because if you think about it, if Alex wins this, who is he even going to fight? He's going to have to fight Olberg. So even if Jiri, My Glorious Kings, wins, he probably won't get the third fight. But if Ankalaev wins and Jiri wins, Jiri will probably get the fight. So I kind of want Ankalaev to win, honestly. I mean, Pereira's 38, bro. How many fights has he left? Maybe he has like one. Maybe he'll go up and fight Tom Aspinall, and maybe he'll have like one or two more light heavyweight defenses. Whereas Ank, if he fights Jiri has a way better chance of beating him than Pereira. So for us Jiri glazers, we really want Magomed to win. So I'm not mad about it, honestly.